Episode 48 of Multiplaying is brought to you by Max Discount Dusters. Don't look like a jabroni, dress for success with a duster. It's like a jacket, only longer, thicker, and way more badass.
Everybody online, looking good.
A companion podcast to the collaborative blog and gaming community that's playing as life allows. This is Multiplaying.
Well, let's start the insanity.
We have clearance, Clarence. Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello?
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
So hello everybody, welcome back to Multiplaying. On a little sabbatical last week because of some technical issues. So we are back. Hopefully we will not incur the wrath of the internets again and get this episode out to you. So with us tonight is John.
Woohoo!
Which he actually wrote in the doc to say woohoo. Thanks, John. Jason.
Hello.
Dean.
Hi.
And me, Steve. So let's get into what you guys are drinking first. What you drinking, John?
I'm just drinking vodka.
Just vodka. Just straight vodka?
Just straight vodka.
No
Yep.
ice, nothing?
Nope, just some
Even
Grey
a
Goose.
glass? Or are you just drinking it from the bottle?
Got a glass. Got a glass
Oh,
at
okay.
the moment. I got some crystal, you know.
So classiness plus one.
Yeah. It's Grey Goose, though, so it's really kind of shitty vodka.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not too classy.
So you're breaking even right now.
Yeah, so I'm breaking even with the crystal glass, and then the Grey Goose vodka, so I come out nil.
Jason, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Odie's favorite Coors Light.
Oh my god, why are you drinking Coors Light?
Shit. We
I don't know.
needed to sponsor the show for better internet.
we need to raise some funds. Back to the color.
It was funny, when I was on my way home from work, there was somebody on the radio. There's this local radio place that like every Friday has this giveaway for like, it's just basically a shitload of beer that is provided by some local liquor store, and whoever wins, like they'll bring it over to your house for like whatever party you're having that weekend. But this woman,
that weekend.
yeah, basically the woman that was on the phone that I don't know if she won or was trying to win or what it was, but yeah, I could probably count the number of teeth she had in her mouth in one hand, and she was like all hyped up to be getting some Coors Light. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
I know
God.
her. I drink Coors Light. I know her.
Yeah.
She on
She's
the
the one that
mailing
introduced
list?
game day to him.
She's on the mailing list with you?
She and I have been through a lot together.
Yeah, a lot of
See
game.
her open the can with her one tooth.
Oh, yeah. Dean, what you drinking?
I'm drinking a Molson Canadian.
Oh, my God.
Oh, nice.
An actual
Yes.
Canadian.
It's the best Canada has to offer.
Oh.
It is. It's
It
really
is.
good. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well,
What
then
about you,
again,
Steve?
you drink game day, Jason, so...
Not saying much. Yeah.
And I've got nothing but caffeine, so we'll go with that.
All right.
Yeah. Let's see what we've currently been playing with. So since it's been 2 weeks, we're going to have a lot, I presume. John, well, actually, I think
I think I should
everybody-
go later.
Wha-
Unless you want to do Fallout
okay,
now.
that's fine because you've just been playing Fallout. So
Pretty much obsessively, yeah.
We'll get to you later. We'll touch on that like in Jason's week or something. Actually, I'll start with Dean. What you been playing, Dean?
Oh, you're gonna start off with me, huh?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yep.
So I finally beat Professor Layton in the Unwound Future, and I am a happy camper about that.
Because
And
last week when we tried to record, you weren't done yet, were you?
no, I wasn't done, and I had just got to the introduction of giant fucking robots, and completely illogical, crazy story. And I
Sounds
was
so hot. Giant
Yeah.
fucking robots.
it was pretty. There's a lot of friction, a lot of oil. But yeah, I finally beat Professor Layton, and even though that game, I don't know, the puzzles are fun. It's a fun game. Story driven, great, all that stuff. It's getting really tedious toward the end, but I have to say that this is the end of the trilogy, and I haven't played a game with an ending this sad in a really long time. So
Really?
yeah, it was, and I won't give anything away because it's not at all what the player would probably expect when they're playing through the game, because when the ending came, I was like, oh, holy shit, I was not expecting that. So it was really good, but it was really sad. So hey, if you're playing
Did
Professor
the kid die?
Professor
Professor.
yeah, no, he didn't die. I wish he kind of would have, but no, he didn't die. But it's got one of the saddest endings of any game I've ever played. I'm just like, oh, seriously,
Well,
this
damn.
is it's heart wrenching. It was terrible, but all in all, that kind of made up for the rest of the shitty game. Mainly,
The saddest ending in my video game life made up for the shitty
just,
game.
You just maybe absolutely never ever want to play that game.
no, it's good for the puzzles. The story is just ridiculous, but the puzzles are good. The main thing that I've been playing is Fable 3. There's a lot of game beating on this podcast today, but I actually beat Fable 3 on, I don't know what day it was, but this week, and that game was fun.
Really?
I did like it. Okay. What,
I did.
I've heard some complaints about the ending. Now, don't spoil, but what are your thoughts?
Did you see my tweet on the ending by any chance?
No, I've been out of town.
That requires us to use Twitter.
Well, everybody does but you, John. So I know. Well, the ending. Do you want to know my honest opinion on the ending?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was shit.
That's what I've heard.
It was terrible.
I'm mostly talking about Brad from Giant Bomb. He had major issues with the ending. He didn't say what they were, but
the ending is awful. It's and by awful, I mean it's not like awful things happen. It's just like an awful shitty ending. It doesn't tie up any loose ends. It just kind of like, it's like, hey, this all happened. That's great.
Is it like a cliffhanger or something?
No, it's I can't get into it without spoiling it.
So we're not talking like Halo 2 ending.
Well, I never got all the way through Halo 2.
Well, Halo 2 it was just a huge cliffhanger.
It's not a cliffhanger. It's a definite ending, and there is a definite end. The game actually it does resolve everything, but it just ends, and it's about a 5-minute ending, and the boss is the easiest boss I've ever beat probably in my entire life. Yeah.
Well, it's a Halo game though. I mean, the combat's not real hard in Halo. I mean, I'm sorry, Fable.
Yeah, that game is really press B to win. Like, I really liked that game. It was really fun, but some of the mechanics were just messed up. The magic was incredibly overpowered, and I haven't really heard... I've only read a couple reviews on it, but it's... I know some people were complaining about magic, but essentially it's press and hold B to win through the entire game.
That's a real bummer, because I really enjoyed Fable 2, and I liked how the combat, I liked how you had to mix it up, but yeah, like you said, I've heard that you don't really have to do that here at all.
It's incredibly simplified, and what's funny is after I beat Fable 3, I actually went back and I don't know if anybody's seen me on Steam, but I've been playing Fable 1, Fable the Lost Chapters, because I wanted to experience something maybe a little bit more deep, and going back to that game, you actually get to see a lot more complex combat, and a lot more, interesting gameplay elements. It just shows how much more dumbed down these games are. So it's pretty disappointing, and the ending was
really?
pretty...
You're saying from going from Fable 1 to this, it makes this seem dumbed down?
Are you kidding?
Well, even Fable 1 to Fable 2.
I'm seriously asking because I've never played any of the Fables.
It's incredibly dumbed down. Like, you can basically, if you can breathe, you can play Fable 3. And again, I really do enjoy that game because I do. When I get home, I'm tired. I'm stressed out. I don't want to sit there and play with complex menus and a bunch of other crap. And Fable 3 really caters to that casual sort of like, I pick up the controller. I can play a relatively simplified game. I don't have to think too much about what I'm doing. I can travel quickly to the places I need to go. But they took out complexity that added depth. That was existing in Fable 1. And so when I'm playing the original Fable, I'm comparing it to Fable 3 and going, oh my god, they castrated this thing. What did they do? So, and again, that's not to say that it's not a bad game. There are some really good things about Fable 3. There's, good graphics, a kind of a great economy simulation with purchasing the different, stores and houses and stuff to rent them out and get money and things like that. There's really simplified fast travel. The menu system, even though you do press start and get placed into a sanctuary, which is... have you guys heard about the menu system in that game?
Yes, a little bit, yeah.
I have not, but...
basically they ripped out menus. Like, there are no menus. You press start and you go into an actual 3D space called the Sanctuary, where you try on clothes, you put on armor, you go to your Xbox Live co-op, all that stuff there without actually navigating through menus. So it's really interesting, really simplified, and there are a lot of really good elements, but just some of the design, it's like press B to win and no complexity. So
The press B to win should be on the box.
Fable 3.
Under features.
Press B to win.
Features the B button.
That's the quote on the box from our podcast.
I will say, and this is a slight spoiler, so plug your ears if you don't want to hear this. If you want to get a good ending, start out with the economic stuff and purchasing houses early. Because I ran into a situation where bad things happened because I was not prepared, and the game's ending sneaks up on you. So be very careful about that if you do play Fable 3.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I feel like I've just been like dumping on this game.
Oh no, but I mean, if that's your feelings towards the game, then
One last thing I just wanted to touch on was that some of the side quests that they do have in Fable 3 are amazing. I know last week in the Lost podcast I talked about a quest called The Game, but do you mind if I talk about that now?
hey, do it, man.
All right, so just to talk about the crazy side quests that they do have in this game. There is one where you walk into a house and you see these 3 guys dressed up in mage clothing, and they're surrounding this table with like a miniature landscape. And they're all serious, and they're like, we are the 3 mages of, whatever magical land. And they're all, will you take this orb and go to the land and save the princess? Well, when they give you this orb, it ends up shrinking you and placing you into their miniature tabletop landscape. And you find out that you're actually playing in their tabletop role-playing game. And it's really cool because these NPCs narrate the NPCs inside the tabletop role-playing game that you're interacting with. And they do some dynamic stuff, like you approach a castle or whatever, and they're like, this castle's not scary enough. And so then the dungeon master, if you will, he'll say, I'll make this better, and then whoosh, the castle turns into this dark, terrible place. So it's some really interesting stuff, and at the end you actually, when you get to save the princess, you actually get to see the giant mage guys towering over the miniature landscape. So it really feels like you're actually the RPG character in their tabletop role-playing game. And it was hilarious because you hear this nerdy banter between all 3 of them, and you really feel like you're participating as just as the player in a tabletop game. So it was just really unique. And there's some of those, I mean, again, the game may be dumbed down, but there's still that humor. There's still that really unique quest line and really fleshed out side NPC sort of element to the game. So, I might sound like I'm dumping on it, but it's really interesting and it's really fun. And if you like Fable, it only takes about 12 hours to get through. It's worth the money. It's fun. It's great. I like it.
But you do still think that it's worth the price of admission, though?
Yeah, even though the end game is complete, the ending, is complete shit. The journey itself was worth it, and it was a lot of fun. You can bang NPCs, you can get married, you can get STDs. It's just like, it's fun. I
can do that in real life.
Yeah, but they're not NPCs.
Cost you way more than $60.
When you were talking about that quest, that sounds really awesome, and I have the thought, since this one kind of seemed like a step back from Fable 2, which I absolutely loved, but the humor was so great in that, and it sounds like it's still intact in this. It would be great if they went Fable 4, whatever they do next, to kind of do that. Maybe, what if they could expand upon that whole quest that you did, where you're in that world and you hear the voiceover and shit's changing all the time, and has that whole sense of humor. I mean, would you like to play a whole game that is that quest but just expanded upon?
You know what? It's funny that you say that, because that quest only took about 20 to 25 minutes, and I wanted to stay in there for longer. And I don't know if you've played Dungeons and Dragons Online, where you have a narrator that's describing things around you and stuff like that, basically acting as the DM. Mm-hmm. That's really fun. I would love to see that expanded upon, and to see like maybe that quest 2 in Fable 4 where they, it takes a couple hours, because it was really fun and really unique, and I hadn't ever seen anything quite like that before. I just hope they bring back some of the complexity that existed in the older games in Fable 4, because no, they can't possibly dumb it down anymore.
No, I played the first one, and I really love the second one. And the second one seemed like the perfect mix of just simplicity, to where, like you said, you can come sit down, but you actually feel like a badass, and there's a little bit to it, even though it was hard to die in that game.
Yeah, and you know what's? I didn't die once in Fable 3. I don't even know what happens when you die, because I didn't die. Yeah.
No, I had similar issues in all the other Fable games, personally. I just
Really?
never died in any of them. Yeah.
Oh, I died in Fable 1 a bunch of times.
Fable 1 wasn't a super easy game. I mean, it wasn't that difficult, but yeah.
Yeah, right off the bat, they actually put you in some pretty hairy situations, and I'm like, oh my god, this is kind of hard. I don't know if I want to play this.
Yeah, I remember dying in Fable 1.
Yeah.
Not so much in Fable 2. I might have a couple times, but it seemed like in Fable 2, at least I felt, which is the biggest complaint that I've heard, and from what you've said, it kind of confirms it. My favorite part of Fable 2 was the combat. Even though it wasn't that difficult, it wasn't that complex, it was a really nice mixing things up, mixing magic, range, and melee up to where I felt like a really cool character, and it sounds like that's not really here in this game.
Yeah, and they encouraged you to do that by giving you 3 different types of experience for the types of attacks you're using. They're combined in Fable 3. You only get one type of experience, which you can upgrade any of your abilities with. So
yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah, it's not really encouraged to do. So yeah, once I discovered press B to win, I was like, well, I'm just gonna press B to win, and I did. So.
Well, what other buttons have you been pressing to play other games and win? I don't know. That's a horrible segue, but what the fuck else you been playing, Dean?
I've been playing some other stuff, but I think we'll get to that when you talk.
Me? Well, bring it up. Game Dev Story. I know you've been playing Game Dev Story.
I've been playing Game Dev Story 2 for iPod.
Let's get that done.
Me too.
My God. And Jason has too. You guys, I've been talking a lot, but I've already beat this game once, gone through the entire 20-year campaign.
Oh, you can beat it.
You get, yeah. Well, once you get to 20 years, it doesn't continue to give you score.
Oh, okay. Because I had got to like year 9. That's weird. Because I got to year 19 and actually experienced a few problems with my income. And started over. I was like, shit, and I started over. I guess really? For people that don't know what this is, Game Dev Story is an iPhone or iDevice game, which you start your own game development studio. It's you and a secretary and like 2 other employees, and there's 2 empty desks that you can fill with other types of employees. Each employee that you have has a different job title, like designer or writer, goes all the way up to hacker or producer. And you hire these people, and they have different traits that they can apply towards the game. And as the game, you choose the type of game that you want, and like as you're developing it, up comes certain points in the game where you have to say, okay, now it's time to create the graphics, and now it's time to create the music, and you have to assign that task to either one of these people, or you have to outsource it to another place. If you give it to one of your employees, of course it's free at that point. If you outsource it, you have to pay money for it to be done, and that comes out of your capital. I'm trying to think of like what else I'm possibly missing on this, but
you can name the games yourself.
Yes,
you can
exactly.
name your own studio.
Oh, what are some of your guys' top selling games?
Oh my God! Well, okay, I'll get into a little bit more of it later, but I think I've actually got to the point now where most of the games I make, almost all of them, are Hall of Fame games.
Yeah.
Like every single one I make, just boom, boom, boom. It's a Hall of Fame game. So when you get a Hall of Fame game, that allows you to create a sequel. The most recent sequel that I just made was I think it was a shooter. I think it might have been a ninja shooter, but I can't remember. But it was Enema Blaster.
I love it.
And then I made Enema Blaster 2. And that was
what's in that collector's edition for that?
Yeah, it was a huge. Yeah, you don't want to know. It was a huge success. Then I also made a
Comes with a
pop,
colonoscopy.
I made a Pop Star motion game because I actually started developing for the Nintendo Whoops,
Nice.
which is the Nintendo Wii look-alike. And I actually made a Pop Star motion game called Singing Whore. I sequelized that. But yeah, I had some. I know Jason. I remember yours from last week that we didn't get to discuss was awesome.
Yeah, I've got some here. I'll go through my list. I'm looking
Do
at.
it.
My biggest seller so far is Robo Dicks. I've got Ninjas Be Trippin'. I've got hold on. I've got Ass Effect. That was a big.
Oh, nice. It's so
Yeah.
obvious, but it's so good.
That would
I
go
have
well with Enema Blaster.
That would, yeah. I have a game, a movie game based off of Action Jackson.
Oh Jesus!
I had a,
Was that
I
the
had a-
Whoopi Goldberg movie?
No, that was the Carl Weathers movie.
Okay, well, okay.
You're
I'm
thinking of
of some-
Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Yes, I am. God damn it.
And I'm so sad that I know that.
It's so bad.
I have I have a game. I don't know why. I thought that this was funny. It was a in my mind it was based off a medical game. It was Ted Balls MD.
Oh
I
man.
had a puzzle game, Puzzle Pussy.
I was playing.
Simulation
I was playing the game at work, and I was playing at lunch, and there's a couple guys that I sit with, and I was explaining the whole game to them and everything. And the one guy's mildly interested in games, and the other guy not so much. But as I'm like telling him the different names of the games that I have created, he goes, "Do you have to name them dirty like that?" And I was like, "Oh no, you don't have to. You can name them whatever you want."
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I was like, it's more fun that way.
Yeah.
Some of my best-selling games. My best-selling game. This isn't a very original title, but it was Skanky MMO 5.
Nice.
5 it built upon the previous 4.
It does. It was the penultimate Skanky MMO. And what was my other one? Slicing Sluts.
Oh God.
It was an
Sounds
action.
bad.
It was an action RPG.
Yeah,
I
of
don't know
course.
if I like those sluts.
They slice.
Any way you slice them, they're just sluts.
And then my other one was a horror shooter, not a horror.
Horror.
And that was Call of Booty.
Call of Booty.
Real original. I know. I'm 12.
You know, you should have named it you should have actually named it horror or something like that.
Horror.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'll do that. I just stopped naming them toward the end of the game because they're all Hall of Fame, and you start making games so quickly that it just takes too much effort to actually
Man,
start naming them.
How much
When
money
do I
you
get to the Hall of Fame? Jesus. I'm
What
10 years
year are
in.
you? What year are you? You're 10?
Yeah.
I think I started hitting Hall of Fame stuff around like year 13 or 14.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm like, most of mine are debuting at 3 or so right now.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I suck.
Well, okay, wait.
My
How
staff's
much?
terrible.
Everybody listening to the podcast is so disinterested at this point. But how much money do you have right now? Like capital?
Not that much. Hold on.
How about you, Dean? You know about how much?
I have
I-
about $9,000.
Oh wow.
You mean 9 grand or 9 million?
No, 9 grand. Oh,
Nine-
no,
Because
it's not.
K.
It's 9 million.
It's
is what it
probably
is.
9 million. Is it 9 comma blah blah blah?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's 9 million.
I ended year 20.
Because it's in thousands of dollars.
I ended year 20 with about $500 million.
I'm getting there. I think I'm year 17, and I just actually dropped out of the plus 400 million because I started developing for the Whoops.
Have you made your own console yet?
No, I have not. I haven't found a hardware designer because that's something also, listeners. That's something else you can do in the game when you get later on. If you can get a hardware designer or whatever the hell they're called, it tells you what they need to be. But if you can get this one type of employee, you can actually create your own console.
Tell you a secret real quick. It's the way to get a hardware engineer is to change any one of your employees and get them to level 5 in every single job.
Really?
Yeah, so when the salesman comes, just buy the skill books to change the job. Just get them up to level 5 in every single one. So hacker, producer, director, writer, everything.
No shit.
And then hardware engineer will become available, and then you can develop your own console.
Hot damn, I am.
I think all mine are at 5. I need to do that then.
Yeah.
Well, no. It's one employee has to have each of their jobs available to them. Be
at level 5. Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome though. Then you get to name your console, make your own console, make your own games for it, get the market share. The game is so addictive. I was playing Fable 3 and just trying to get money because I was just letting it run in the background. I ended up playing that game for like 5 hours straight.
Jesus.
Can I make the Microsoft X-Cock?
Yes.
Yes, Jason, you can.
Might overheat though. I don't know.
Oh, don't want to red ring that.
Yeah, you want some...
Oh. that's usually something serious.
Yeah, get that looked at if you red ring your X-Cock.
Yeah.
But speaking of Jason's X-Cock, what have you been playing, Jason?
Oh, jeez.
Other than Game Dev Story.
Yeah. Besides that, I've been playing some more.
So have I.
Yeah. I'm still really digging Tier 4, even though I've been kind of spreading it out a little bit more, playing the Magoose a little bit.
Hey,
but,
you can't take my name.
No, I can't. I can't believe you got that name.
Yeah, I rolled a Magus in T1, and I actually got the name Magoose.
We've been saying that name
how's
for
it spelled?
years. Jeez.
Yeah, we have.
Magoose.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
I was surprised. I actually like hit the button and it like went through, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "Nobody ever used that." That's just, I don't know.
It's insane.
Maybe it's only funny to us. I don't know.
Yeah.
It probably is, or no one has ever actually thought to pronounce it, incorrectly on purpose.
Yeah, everyone in game thinks you're a dude. D-O-O-D. D-0.
I'm that guy.
Really enjoying it. I am really looking forward to the RVR packs, which we will discuss in a little bit. But I'm still really enjoying the game.
Yeah.
I've been playing some MAG, which I just downloaded the new DLC, but I have not played it yet.
Oh, you did buy it?
I did because I had a discount because I bought the last DLC within a time frame, so I got it I think for $7 or $8.
Oh shit.
And it's the 3-side DLC, so I was all over it. Where there's 3 factions in the game, and in this one mode, it's like 3-way King of the Hill, which I thought was really cool. I'm still loving that game. The more I play that game, I fall in love with it, and
I played more last night and more today earlier, and like absolutely, the more I'm playing that with the Move controllers, the more I'm just absolutely fucking digging it. Something like a few days ago or a couple days ago just totally clicked. I think like after I got my medic gun and got like a couple levels more after that, I think once I hit like level 10, I was like, man, just something clicked with the controls. Everything just felt real fluid, like I was shooting dudes, like, and didn't really think about it as much anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was, like the controls, the buttons, and everything of like what everything was to make like the weapon switching alone. It took me a while to get used to because you switch your like accessories in the one hand, and you switch back to the weapons in the other, and it was really weird. But just after getting used to that and the controls and the feel of it, it's just totally clicked now. And I'm I think at the point where you have been, that I can't go back to the regular controller.
And it's kind of funny that you say it that way, because I think I remember that moment where it kind of clicked with me, and that was actually when you were up here and I was kind of showing you the game. And I remember there was a distinct moment when we were switching off playing where I stopped thinking about the control, stopped like fighting it. I don't know how else better to put it, and that's kind of just how I thought about playing that game, and I can't go back to playing that game with a controller.
No,
same way.
Coolest moment that clicked, actually, I think when I hit level 11 last night, like, the absolute coolest thing. I had gotten so used to the controls, I actually was running around just shooting the shit out of people. And with the move control, yeah, they had to get new underwear. With the move controller, if you're using that to play the game, to stab someone is not a button press. It is actually, you take the move controller and you jab forward.
Nice.
And that is what actually activates the stab. I was running around blasting people, and I ran right up next to this guy and just immediately swung out real quick with the controller, and I got him. I was just like, oh god, it felt so good to. I mean, it's weird that I'm saying that it felt so good, great to make a stabbing motion at someone, but it did. I mean, it just felt so succinct, and it was great.
Yeah,
It's really interesting to hear you guys and how you warmed up to the controls so much, because at first you were pretty resistant. Now you're like, oh yeah.
Well, I always thought there was potential in it, and just like people say online, which is totally true, you can't just do it once and it's not going to click right away. You have to be willing to want to play this way and put some time in it, and then I think it'll ultimately be rewarding. But in the same breath, if you really enjoy the way consoles control first-person shooter-wise, which there are a lot of people, this probably isn't going to do it for you.
No. I think it's back to, I might have mentioned it on the show, I can't remember, or maybe it was just in talking with you, that I think that for someone like me that loves shooters but has never really gotten into console shooters, that has always been more of a PC person, this is something that gets me into playing a console shooter where I never have before, and it makes me actually excited about games like Killzone 3, which are going to support this.
Yes, which I'm in the beta, and the move's not in yet, and I'm really thinking they will. I'm hoping more that they will patch it in before the beta's over, because I want to test it out.
I hope they do.
Because I love the modes in Killzone, and the controls controller-wise in this one are actually a lot better this go-round than the last one. They were really tanky in the last ones, but I'm sure that they'll patch it in before beta's over.
Yeah.
Now, are you guys thinking about getting any gun cases for those games?
No.
No.
The gun cases to me only kind of look like and I haven't researched them a ton, but like they're good for games like the shoot, light gun games, which I really don't have a ton of it. Yeah, I don't have a ton of interest in those games.
I have a slight interest in Time Crisis, but even if I had that, I think there would have to be more than just that to get me to buy one of the cases.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you definitely can't use it for something like Killzone. I would assume not Killzone, but you can't use it for Mag because you have to be able to use the buttons on top of the controller. And with that gun case, you can't use it for that. So yeah, like what Jason's saying, the only things that you can really use the gun casing for, which there's even a official PlayStation one outside of the bevy of other gun cases that are coming out for it. The only thing you're going to be able to use it on is like the shoot or Time Crisis.
Now, which buttons do you have to hit in Mag, for example, on top of the controller that the gun case would make it
All of them.
Oh, really? All of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have
yeah.
the triangle button is to crouch or go prone.
Okay.
The square button is to reload. The big button on top is to go to to swap between your main gun and your sidearm. The X button jumps, and the circle button is to hit resupplies and interact with things. So you have to use everything.
You really need all of them then.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean that those attachments would be, I think, cool if Time Crisis is that out yet? I'm not sure.
I think it is.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but
if there's if there's a light gun game that I'm really into, I would totally buy it because that would be more in the immersive type mode. But yeah, for first-person shooters, I don't. It's not
I mean, if they would,
simplified shooters would be,
yeah,
like
that's what I was about to say. If they would make a shooter that you actually do move around and that's just very simplified, that you don't have to use all those controls, that would be good.
Halo.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, come on, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Well, no, he doesn't make. It's not a totally invalid point because you could then use the navigation controller buttons.
Right, because the buttons that you need for Halo are just those two that are on the nav controller.
No, that's not true. But yeah.
No.
No. I mean, if you're talking, I'm not sure. I'd have to go look at it.
It has been a while since I played Halo, so I should clarify that.
I'd have to go look at exactly what and go look at Halo, and I'm not about to think about that. But I think that you guys are shortchanging the complexity of Halo. But okay.
I'm just looking at the controls, though. I don't remember him being as involved, but I could be totally wrong. So
I think it'd be fantastic for a rail shooter. There you go.
There you go.
Exactly. Yeah. That's my thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you've been playing, Jason?
I've gone back to playing Red Dead Redemption, and I know it's crazy because I think it's the Undead Nightmare stuff that I've been hearing about, and I remember
so good.
Yeah, did you play that?
No, I haven't, and I've heard how good it looks, and I remember Steve talking actually not that long ago about his experience beating it, and realized I was probably halfway through that game.
Shut up, whoever's laughing at that.
Yeah. Well, Steve just loved beating it.
It took a long time.
Oh dear. Wow.
Yeah. He used his left hand. But
Felt like somebody else.
I was laying on it for a while, and then
I was asleep. Um,
Ouch.
and I realized I really do need to finish that game. So I went back to playing it, and it didn't take long for me. The controls are a little bit finicky, so it took about 10 minutes for me to kind of acclimate myself to that game. But
Yeah.
that's a great game.
yes, it is.
It's a fantastic game, and I'm going to finish that, and then I'm going to do Undead Nightmare, because I've heard some things, and I've tried to avoid spoilers, but I guess this kind of, it's not necessarily after the game, but they do reference things that are in the game, but it's kind of a sideways type of thing, but I don't want anything spoiled.
For what I've seen in it, it's definitely not placed after the game. It's almost like if this happened at some point and then like never was told. I can't explain it really without spoiling, but it definitely was not an aftermath.
But
It's like a parallel story type thing?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. But I did hear some people say that it does reference things that happen in the game. So,
okay.
And I've heard a lot of people, including you, talk about how strong the ending of that game is. So,
yeah.
I do want to play that zombie stuff, but I want to experience the game before I get into that. So,
yeah, the ending of that game is, even though that was a tedious task to get to, makes it immediately like way up there on my like game of the year, or even like the past 5 years.
Let me ask you a question, because that kind of makes me think about another game that I'm pretty decent through, and I need to go finish because I've heard the ending is really great.
Mm-hmm.
Without spoilers, and you may not be able to do this, but compare this to Assassin's Creed 2, the ending.
Oh my God.
Like, are they both up there with each other?
They're both up there, but I think, me personally, totally me personally, I think there was a lot more. Assassin's Creed 2, the ending makes me want Assassin's Creed 3.
It will blow your fucking mind, though.
Yes, in that well, it will, but it really just makes me want the next game.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption's ending was, oh my god, and there was just this release of like, I completed that, and that was amazing. What happened at the end, and you can still go and play after that, but I didn't. I just kind of left it as it was, and it was something that was amazing. It was like reading a really good book and getting to the end, and there being some twist at the end that just really satisfies. That's what I got out of it. I mean, both of them were, I don't know if I want to say equally amazing, because I think I lean more towards what I got out of Red Dead, but I will say they were both amazing, but Assassin's Creed 2 just really makes me want Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I think the thing, hearing that makes me pretty pumped for some of the cancellations this year, actually, is going into the holiday season. I'll have time to, I need to finish both these games.
Yeah.
And
where are you at right now?
In Red Dead?
Yeah.
I'm probably in the middle. Like, I got to Mexico probably about 6-7 missions ago.
Okay.
So I'm doing random things. I'm raiding things. It kind of seems like I'm with some rebels in Mexico that are pretty shitty, but I'm helping them for some reason. And I don't know.
You're still quite a ways away.
Okay. So I mean, all Rockstar's games are super long. So
I'd say, again, vaguely, you're probably halfway there.
that's what I figured. I figured I was probably around halfway, maybe even not yet halfway through that game.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I can't remember exactly how long everything in Mexico went, but it's still one of those things. I kind of wish they would have just left Mexico out of it. It would have been a little bit more solid and less time-consuming of a game then. But because I don't know. Maybe you'll get something out of Mexico that I didn't. I think a lot of people did. There was a lot of really cool things in it, but I could have done without it, I guess. But anyways, anything else you've been playing, Jason?
Just some Fallout New Vegas.
So I'll just skip over that and go to John. Hey, John, what you been playing?
Well, I played and finished Fallout Vegas after...
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
How long did that take ya?
Been playing that ever since it came out.
That's all I see when I see you on my Steam list. It's
Do
like,
you have like a huge beard now?
You know, I've been, you know, doing all that shit. No, it's just kidding. No, it took 48 hours of gameplay.
Wow.
And that was only doing the side quests that came up organically through the storyline, exploring those side quests thoroughly. So from what I understand, from what I know of the markers that I have, like just measuring roughly, markers that I have and the markers that I missed because I picked up the Explorer perk right before the end, which the Explorer perk, if you don't know, reveals every marker on the entire map as fast travel able and all that kind of stuff.
Oh wow, Jesus.
But it's extremely overwhelming because I'm like, man, I got a lot explored and stuff like that. Let me see what I missed. And then all of a sudden I was like, holy fucking God. Like, I was like, yeah, let's just finish this.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, I don't have another 48 hours to explore all those.
Did you beat Fallout 3?
Actually, no, because what happened in Fallout 3 for me was I ended up doing the opposite. And this is why I kind of decided I'm not going to go and do all that shit. Because what happened in Fallout 3 was I explored and explored and explored and then played other games.
Yeah.
I never finished the story. I explored tons of stuff. I got all kinds of crazy awesome things. But I never actually finished the story.
How many hours would you say you soaked into Fallout 3 before you kind of veered off?
You know, I can't say because the only reason I know is because Steam keeps track of it, and when I played Fallout 3, I didn't have it in Steam.
Oh, okay.
So I really don't know. But I would say roughly the same amount, if not more, of just exploration. Just, you know. But I was doing just exploration. I completely ignored the side quests. I mean, and completely ignored the storyline in Fallout.
And this one you
This one I was
stay
like...
more toward.
Right, this one I was like, that's it. I'm doing the storyline, and I'll do whatever side quests come up. Because I talk to everyone. I check all the lockers in the area that I'm in, you know. And
I kind of started that way with New Vegas. I started, like, because everything seemed a lot like Fallout 3, and I kind of, okay, I'll just talk to everybody because there's not a crap load of people here. And I got stuff finished up pretty quick, and then I got to like Novak, and then the quest. About that point, the quest really started to get more. Seemed to, at least for me, unless I skipped over some, get more involved.
Oh yes.
And then by the time I was like, I kept on kind of go, oh, okay, I guess I'll keep talking to everybody. But I just had recently, like last week, got to Vegas finally.
Woo, Vegas gets crazy.
And then it was just like, there's so much stuff here.
Yeah.
It's like I could be here for days. Like actual physical, like real life days. It's like maybe I should just try to go towards the story. So I have not, since I've been to Vegas, I've only done a few things. And I've kind of it's almost the opposite problem that I had with Fallout 3. Fallout 3, I was so engrossed in the story that I didn't do a lot of other stuff. This one, I was trying to do a lot of other stuff because I didn't want to miss a lot, because I missed a lot in Fallout 3. And now I'm like, okay, God, maybe I should just concentrate on the story and try to get through this because there's so much shit in here.
Yeah, and you know what happened actually is after finishing New Vegas, which is fucking awesome.
The ending?
The ending. Awesome? Well, the ending was great because you can choose your ending, of course. And the cool thing is, without spoiling anything of the story, you know, when you finish and go to the point of no return and finish the story out, it actually narrates everything that you've chosen and gives you a little bit of a look ahead on everything that you've chosen, what resulted from it, you know, kind of what happened afterwards, and all that kind of stuff. So
it did that in 3 too.
Right. So I realized how much stuff I missed because it would talk about like certain factions that I never met, and I met a lot of factions. Let me tell you. I mean, you know, if you don't mind me telling you the factions, like the Brotherhood of Steel, of course, is there, and the Followers of the Apocalypse, all those guys. But the Enclave, the remnants of the Enclave,
really?
Are in there. It is an extremely hard to get them all together and find out what the hell's going on and stuff. But I do have Enclave Tesla armor. I put the screenshots in the forums.
Oh, did you? All right.
Yeah,
I'll check
it's
those out.
I got pretty badass. It took forever, and it was such a pain in the ass, and it was really weird because, well, I can't say why, but anyway. So yeah.
If you'd like to know more, go buy your own copy.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to ruin the
library.
story, So anyway, it was really hard. Like, first of all, the way that you start the campaign, that particular factions thing, I didn't even know about it, and then finally it was really complicated, and I was like almost complete luck that I even figured it out because. Well, anyway, yeah, there's that, and then so the end game is
you keep going
recapping.
down this road of wanting to talk about stuff, and you're like, I can't talk about that.
After we all beat it, we should like do a spoiler type podcast or something.
Yeah, we talked about doing that a little bit, and that's something I think we got to do. I need to push forward on the game. I've been just way too enveloped into war and other shit recently, but yeah, I need to get back to that and really push through Vegas, and we need to do just a Fallout 3, or even if we do a show
just
then
Fallout
afterwards.
In general.
Yeah, well, not Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, but we definitely need to do a spoiler-filled show because we just want to talk about it.
Yeah, so it's recapping all the factions, and it's bringing up all these factions like, oh, these people did this, and these people did this, and I was like, I didn't fucking know about those people. What the hell? I was like, who are
these assholes?
Yeah, and it's like they terrorized the wasteland and blah blah blah, and I'm like, what? I was like, that's bullshit.
You go back to that save game.
I don't even know you.
Yeah, so a lot of cool stuff though. The last fight is so epic. Oh my gosh. It's I felt like I was in a movie. I was just like a awesome war movie, like explosions everywhere and all kinds of stuff. And to me, I think even though it's still the same engine as Fallout 3, I think it's really beautiful because I am able to run everything on ultra, on maximum, everything, whatever. All the HDR crap and whatever, all that stuff. So like everything looks absolutely spectacular to me. So like, when bombs go off, I have all the fancy glitter and whatever the hell. All the fairy dust is flying around, The leprechauns just jumping with joy. But anyway, it was an epic game, and I'm actually I finished Vegas and I reinstalled Fallout 3. Oh. And now I'm going to play through the story for Fallout 3 because now I'm like, damn, like, damn, I should have done that the first time.
We had to bring up something, though. John, being our resident asshole, as far as playing games as the evil faction.
Oh!
You're playing New Vegas differently, aren't you?
Well, okay. The thing that I've always said was that all BioWare games, I play evil first.
Okay.
Right?
But Bethesda starts with a B, right? Come on.
Right, but if you remember, every time we've talked about me being evil, we've all been playing BioWare games for a while now. Yeah. I mean, all these, Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 1, and we were replaying KOTOR again, and all these things.
Sure there wasn't some other games that you played evil?
We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, so in Fallout 3, I'm playing the Goody Two Shoes, which in the end ended up being a ploy because everything kind of changed. But we won't get into that. That'll be for the spoiler podcast. But it was pretty crazy. There was like a huge coup de grace, if you will. It was nice strategic placing of pieces, and then everything worked out, and it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you guys? How are you guys doing?
I've been playing the game quite a bit, and I absolutely love it. Same type of things that you have been praising, but I ran into such a roadblock today, and I was talking. I was talking to you about it. I'm going to avoid spoilers, but there's a part where for a main quest you have to kind of go to one of the factions and get an item. Yeah, and I've already done things in the game that faction hates me. So to where I could totally tell, like the story, the game wants me to be able to walk into this village, this whole separate town zone, and talk to them before I make my decision of hating them or not. And I can't even get in there. Like, I can't walk up to it. There's tons of guards, and what I've been doing is I've been going in. I've been having to equip myself with stim packs, everything. Go in here, kill a couple people, and then run out and save and like rest up, go buy new items.
Wow.
Okay, I will ask you this. Did you already get the forgiveness from the faction once?
I think I did.
Okay, because I had the same problem, but I got the forgiveness at just the right time, and I was like, oh, thank goodness. I was like, let me go do that real quick.
I may not have. I remember I went on some boards to look for tips, and one of those things said you should get this forgiveness at a certain point, and I don't think I did. But I went through that.
Yeah, I don't know. Because maybe you weren't hated at that time.
I might not have been. Yeah.
And then you were hated later, and I don't know. It worked out perfect for me because I was hated, completely vilified. They would just shoot me on sight. And then I got the forgiveness, and I was like, yes! I was like, let me go do that quest real quick.
Well, I think part of the problem is I have a companion who has a natural hatred to this faction.
Oh, yes, the Crimson Aggro.
The guy, yeah.
Yeah. I had... Well... yeah. Anyway, so
Thank you.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, though, because I almost had a problem with that when I went back after my forgiveness. I was like, why do I have red dots all over my red? Oh.
And then you tell him, "Quit being a dick."
Yeah, I had to go back and trade out.
Yeah. So I think I'm dug in for the long haul. I got to eliminate this whole camp, but. It's gonna take me a while.
I have to kill everyone.
Yeah.
This is one of those times when it would have been great to have some form of multiplayer feature, even if it's only play your game, but you and I can go together. That would be
I need some backup here.
Yeah. Go in there with my Tesla armor, just.
Yeah. So, I mean, once I get past this part, I'm full gung ho into this game. But it's
awesome.
Yeah. I have to ask you guys, actually, for those who have been playing it, are you experiencing any bugs? Because I have not seen any.
No.
The one I had was recently was this one companion just kind of left me at one point for no logical reason. So I did research how to open up the console and summon him back. So I didn't think it was it's not cheating because I told you you're supposed to.
It's just a bug.
Fucking there. I just brought him back, so that's the only one.
The only thing that I could say was even close to a bug, and I think it was just an instance of the NPCs with the way they were programmed did not know how to react to me. Is actually I was talking with John about it yesterday, and I won't explain it at all again for obvious spoiler reasons, and I know we've stated that 100 times already, but I kind of massacred this whole building full of people because I was in a bad mood yesterday.
And I was teasing him about he's always the goody two-shoes, and he's always said, I can't add to the woes of Fallout, and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, I murdered this whole people. And I'm like, they were innocent. It's like, I was in a bad mood.
Yeah. But I already plan on going back to a previous save and rectifying that whole situation, but after I killed all these people, I became very friendly with these other people in this building. Well, I went into their area of the building and I actually stole an item, and it totally confused them. It's like they were like, I could see on the radar, like the little bar on the radar showing me that there is a person there. It kept on flashing back and forth between the amber color and the red color. It was like going back and forth, and the guy was like kind of like hobbling like back and forth, like pulling his gun up and putting it down, pulling his gun up and putting it down, like he didn't know whether to shoot me or not. It was the weirdest damn thing, but it wasn't. I don't think it was really a bug. It was just like, I guess you could call it a bug, but it wasn't like something stupid.
It's kind of an AI glitch. Like,
yeah, it was almost
like because you were idolized by the faction, but then you stole something in front of him. So he was like, shoot him, no, he's idolized. Wait, shoot him, yeah, no, thief, wait, he's idolized.
Yeah, it was
like
weird,
it was like an AI loop, probably.
Yeah, but that's other than that, game's been running flawlessly. But
Yeah. I will point out that every bug I've heard of is on the console versions.
yeah,
Every single bug.
They seem to be way
one.
buggier, and you can't really open up the tilde screen either. So,
console.
so
Right. Right. Like, for example, Tack is playing on his Xbox. I haven't heard him complain about bugs, but I've seen a lot of raging, YouTube videos about, oh my god, this is such bullshit, fuck you, Bethesda, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude.
Isn't it funny that the consoles are where the problems are, but on the computer, you fix any problems in the console?
Yep.
Oh.
Ah, shut up.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh,
But-
damn it. I'll edit that.
Wait, I get it now.
Wow.
All right.
Going back real quick to what John said about how he said the game looks really good. The main complaint I've heard about graphics is on the consoles because you can't crank up the effects and everything. I'm running on high everything too. The game looks really good.
Well, and I was actually having a discussion with Tack before because he's like, oh, and the console, it just, evolves better. And I'm like, you realize the Xbox is equivalent to a 7900, right? That's the graphics card it has in there, is a GeForce 7900. That's it.
But optimizations and
Yeah,
we won't go down
You
there.
can't
It's
tie
different.
it that evenly. But I know what you're saying. In this instance, it looks way better on the PC if you have a decent computer.
Yep. All right. Well, we will move on to massively multiplaying.
Massively multiplaying.
And let's get into some MMO news. Let's start off with the old Star Wars: The Old Republic. Surprisingly, it's still in development. I don't know what they're thinking, but I guess they got enough money into it at this point that they're not going to stop. But seriously, there was an announcement, I believe it was today, about war zones, which from the outs looks like basically scenarios.
Wars scenarios.
Looks like Warhammer Online scenarios. So far so good, I guess. But I think the consensus with a few of us at least is that we're hoping for some more like open, like PvP.
Right,
But-
because the scenario thing is pretty standard. That's like almost barely minimum requirement these days.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I hope it plays well. I hope that even if it's only the scenarios, hopefully there's enough of a variety of them that it plays well. The balancing and everything works. That hopefully it's good. So that's another. Well, I guess we'll wait and see. Just like the space combat.
Yeah,
One of the
that's
things.
Go ahead.
Yeah. One of the things that I hope that either they do or maybe Guild Wars or something does, which we've talked about before in the podcast, and it kind of reminds me because this is called Warzone, is I would love to see an MMO scenario system kind of like the Killzone multiplayer system, which is actually called Warzone, the main mode, where it's on the fly. You start off, it might be a death match, it may be capture the flag, and then it transitions to another thing.
Okay.
And that's the rounds. Like, okay, capture these flags or, target areas, and then whoever does that first team gets a point, and then you don't know what's coming next. It may be, all right, we need to thin out their numbers, kill 50 of them, and then it switches to that, and whoever does that gets a point. I would like to see that type of dynamic system in a scenario in some of the upcoming MMOs instead of just, okay, here's Norden Watch, where this is what we're going to do, okay, I've studied this map and all that. I'd like to see something like that.
And that was fun, and that has been fun. It still is kind of
Yeah,
fun, but
yeah.
it's something needs to evolve here.
Yeah. Yeah, the way I envision those scenarios is a scenario, it won't be like, I hope not. Well, anyway.
All right, thanks for your concern, John. Let's move on.
Yeah, I envision them being like, since BioWare's so story-driven in general, that each given instance scenario will be for a certain chapter in your story. You know what I'm saying? Or at least on that certain planet that you're on or whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, once you pass that chapter, you're not really going to do that scenario again. You know what I mean? So probably that's what's, I don't know, just
That's
guessing
gonna be really tough to do, but that would be cool. I know what you're saying. But yeah.
I don't know. That'd be an interesting way to do it, but yeah, it's still a wait and see. So
We'll be playing it and finding out, and we'll let you know as soon as we do.
Yeah, like people are gonna wait. Like, I don't know. I might wait to check out this.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's gonna make or break my purchase of this.
That's a maybe right there. That's a maybe game. I might get it.
But something that people that were not very happy about this early on in the development was the name of one of the subclasses for the Jedi Counselor, which was the Jedi Wizard. Even though it may have said it occasionally, wasn't there a few books that referenced a Jedi Wizard? I could be wrong, but I could have swore that somebody actually pulled that out of like the backlogs of, they were referenced as a Jedi Wizard at this point, or maybe it was just because they called Obi-Wan a crazy old wizard. But anywho, people didn't.
In the books that I've read, the commoners refer to the consulars that use the magic. They refer to them as crazy wizards, or
okay,
them and their sorcery.
Maybe that's where I'm getting that from. I don't know.
Like it's not so much like they refer to themselves as that. It's more like the common people are like, oh, them and their sorcery, and all that kind of stuff.
Well, people don't like the name Wizard when it comes to Star Wars, apparently. So BioWare is allowing you, if you care, to rename the class. They have a community poll on their website that you can go drop your check mark into for one of, I believe Wizard is still on the board there.
Wizard's still there. I think it has like 2 votes.
Okay. Then there's Jedi Sage, Jedi Seer, or Jedi Adept. And from our man in the multiplaying chopper, John says that Sage is in the lead.
At the moment.
Yeah.
Right now, Sage has 5,500 votes versus the Adept, which is next up, which is only 2,200.
What's that URL? I'm going to go vote for Wizard.
I know. I was just thinking, I want to hire a bunch of people just to get Wizard, just to piss people off.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's what they should do anyways. Just like if Sage just beats everybody by like 3 times the vote, BioWare just goes, nah, fuck you. We're still calling it Wizard.
They're like, you know what? We really hate the name Sage, so we're just going to go with Wizard.
We didn't think you were going to pick a dumb name, so we're going to go with Wizard.
We were really hoping good guys wouldn't be idiots.
We put that on there as a joke.
Yeah, that was November Fools, guys.
No, but actually Sage is better than Wizard, so...
I have to agree. I don't know about Seer and Adept, but I mean...
I like Adept.
Yeah,
Adept would be okay, but I don't know.
I like Sage better. It kind of, I mean, whenever I hear these class names, I kind of think, okay, what's this going to look like, sound in the years to come, talking on a message board or whatever, and Sage sounds better than Adept or Wizard or...
Because it sounds like
Mage. Because that's a class I'm probably going to play, and I don't want Wizzy.
Jedi Cilantro.
Well,
level blah blah Wizzy Cilantro.
Jedi Cilantro. I want Jedi Allspice. That just sounds like a DJ, man. Yo, I'm DJ Allspice. But anyways, in other Star Wars news, Eurogamer has had an interview with the great minds from BioWare, and seems like 2011 is no longer spring 2011 for the game, which is what they were saying before.
Right.
Now it's just 2011, and actually the quote from Eurogamer, you want to read through it there, John?
Well, if you want us to reenact it, we can do it with the multiple voices and everything.
Let's do it. Well, no, don't use the headphones.
I know.
You be Eurogamer, I'll be Ray Mazuka.
All right,
Mosaic. I don't know how to say it.
So Ray, when will Star Wars: The Old Republic be out?
Next year.
Can you say at least whether it'll be the first half or the second half of the year?
No, motherfucker, it's just 2011.
Oh,
I'm a doctor.
I'm a doctor.
Let me prescribe you some chloroform.
Like Dr. Dre.
26 years I've been perfecting that.
I was listening to an interview with Dr. Ray earlier today on the GameSpot podcast, and they did say the same thing, which I hadn't read what you said, but it kind of threw me off because they said, what's the release date? And he said, well, I don't think we've actually named anything. It's just 2011. And I was walking, listening to him, like, well, that's different because it was spring before. So, yeah, that kind of probably confirms.
To be honest, it's no one is really surprised. People are going to be all like, "Rawr," but you said spring. It's like, come on, everything gets pushed.
Give me my game. I want my game. Even if it's broken, give me my game.
Yeah, I'm really not surprised at all. I'm really surprised that they were saying spring of 2011.
Yeah.
That seems very soon for all that voice work, but...
Yeah, that and the fact that it's not reservable at all, anywhere.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way.
But in quick other sci-fi MMO news, we didn't get to announce. Jesus, yeah, we're that important. We get to announce news.
Breaking news, guys!
We didn't get to talk about it at all last week.
First.
You won't hear it here first. That's going to be our new tagline. Global Agenda news, which really isn't Global Agenda news. It's actually High-Res news, and everybody knows it at this point that High-Res Studios, the makers of Global Agenda, have the rights to Tribes, and they are going to use the name Tribes in an upcoming MMO. Dun, dun, dun. Which seems weird because Global Agenda is probably the closest thing out there right now to a Tribes MMO, so it's weird, but I guess I kind of see it as, and I don't know how you guys look at it, but I kind of see it as their Global Agenda. I don't know if they're really going to cannibalize on Global Agenda, but Global Agenda seems like it's going to be like they're more, here's our free game, and then Tribes is going to be, okay, here's the game we're going to put all of our efforts into and make some damn money. But maybe that's just my look on it. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Could be cool.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, they probably could use some money. So I mean, yeah, it's kind of.
Are you Sally Struthers? Would you like to make more money?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I Global Agenda Combat I really enjoyed, so I would be interested to see what they do with this.
Yeah. Last couple nights I actually was tempted to boot it up, but
It's one of those games I'm always tempted to go play because it was a lot of fun, and it still is a lot of fun, I'm sure, and I like to check things out. So.
And Tony from the forums is like the biggest pusher of that game.
Well, that guy's like a level 180.
I know. Like every time anybody asks, like MMOs, like I wonder if I should be playing. I don't know what to play right now. He's like, Global Agenda is like free, and you already own it. I know you own it.
Play some motherfucking Global Agenda.
I left that guild because nobody else was playing with me. But anyways, we all totally left him. I'm sorry, Tony.
I look back on how much Global Agenda I played. I think it was only like 5 hours. Or something like that.
And the name of our guild in there was Hot Mess, and oddly enough, the name of my company when I re-rolled in Game Dev Story is Hot Mess Games. But anyways, Warhammer news.
Ooh.
Warhammer in the fucking news?
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff.
There is a crap load of Warhammer news, but we'll try to go. I know this podcast is already running long, so we'll try to go through it as succinctly as possible.
Sort of summarize it in a bit.
It won't happen. Account entitlements were just announced yesterday, and kind of everybody blew up about it. I'll just run down the list of what the account entitlements are. Basically, it's stuff that you buy for your account. It's not like a single item that you buy, or like if you want to buy it, like if you remember the big hubbub about World of Warcraft's sparkly pony that you could buy for, what was it, $20, $25?
Yeah.
That was a one-time buy, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well the account entitlements are different in that regard, that you buy it and you get it for each of your characters, for the most part. The first one, which is not for every character, is a server transfer, which is a lot of money. It's $20 if you want to transfer a character.
Yeah, there's a lot of money for a transfer, but I guess if you're having no fun, it's worth the $20. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How many servers are left now?
Was 3, 4?
That's not so bad.
If you don't count the European servers. Other things that you could buy: the starter mount pack, which basically gives you a mount that you can start using at level 2. I believe it gives it like it gives your character like 25% speed increase, but it's like an absolute 100% knock off the horse if you get attacked by anything.
Which
but
makes
still,
sense.
It could still be useful, but
it's like constant sprint.
Yeah, and my prices are going to be a little bit wrong on these because my apologies. Go check them out on the EA store if you really want to know and are interested. But they're like $10 for the starter mount pack, and there's also the.
There'll be people going to EA be like, but Multiplaying said it was $5.
You have to honor that.
Yeah.
Because you sponsor their show, and that was a lie. The trusty mount pack is a level 20 mount of your choice, and I don't actually know what all mounts are there. So again, I love to butcher the fuck out of this information. But anyways, there's also the Trinkets of the World pack, which give you 2 tokens for trophies that you can get from the library.
It could be more or less.
Maybe, I don't know. Specialized training pack, which gives you a war tract, which a war tract gives you a free level. It's just like the one that you can get in the game. I can't remember what. Shit, I fucked that up. There is a quest that you can do in the game, and it gives you a war tract. And
Yeah, it could be specialized or it could be elite as well.
right.
Yeah,
This is
we don't know.
Yeah, shut up. This is another war track, so you could essentially level from 48 to 49 in a second, and then use the one from the
48?
quest. Yeah. Oh,
Now,
excuse
have
me,
they
38.
have they said
38. God damn it.
have they said because I know that there's people that are going to try if they have the money for it. It's just to level with that. Like, is there
Why
some
the hell would you do that?
Trust me, there's people that would. Because if they have money with nothing better to do with it, they'll buy it. You know what I mean? They're just to people still buy power leveling things, Dean. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the amount of money that it costs for the war tract, it's something like it's $10 per level, right?
I have
Yeah,
no
I think
idea.
it is. Well, I think you can only buy one per character.
Well,
I
if you can
believe.
only buy one, that makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I think you can only buy one per character, so that you.
But I mean, like if you
yeah,
look
it's like
at-
it's like $9 or $10, but yeah.
what was it, like Lineage 2? It was like $2,000 to go from level 1 to the max level. And they freaking... oh, God. It's insane.
There's also a there's also a Herald
Harold Pat Down.
No, I would buy that.
Totally.
That gives you 3% speed.
I'm losing my voice.
I want to meet Harold Patown. Sounds like
Yes.
Maverick Cop.
Yes.
Turn
they
in
should
your
put that
badge and shield, Harold Patown.
That's a promise right there. You're going to hit Harold Pat
This
Down.
guy with huge hands.
It makes you run fast out of fear. Gives you speed.
Anyways, there's a Herald pet pack that grants you a little snotling herald that follows you around and gives you 3% speed increase. I can't talk anymore tonight. I'm done. But he looks cute. I might get one. I don't know. Probably not. But check those out on the EA store if you're really interested. The other things that were released are the RVR packs, which these are not actually available for purchase yet. The RVR packs are $10 a piece, or $15 for both. And when they are released, there is going to be two packs: the progression pack, which gives you access to renown rank 100, basically the ability to rank from past 80 to 100. And also within those ranks, you will be able to get two different new armor sets: the Doomflare armor set and the Warp Forged armor set. And also you will have access to some high-level scenario weapons, as well as accelerated renown leveling across all characters on the account up to renown rank 80. And real quick before we get more into that, I'll say what the other pack was. The other pack is a personality pack. It's 4 tokens for the Barber Surgeon, which allows you to change your character's appearance. 4 vanity pets, including an ugly hound and an iron hawk. The heavy mount for renown rank 60 characters with a 70% speed bonus, and new die options on the die merchant. Excuse me. The big stickler thing that everybody's been complaining about over the last 24 hours was the accelerated renown rank leveling across your characters. You can only get that if you buy the progression pack. So what does everybody think about that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jason.
I really don't care.
My short thought on it is that, number one, if you're paying $15 for a subscription, you can afford it. Usually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, but my only concern would be the amount of the gap between, because once you hit rank 40 in Warhammer, or even when you hit tier 4, that's when the big gap starts, when you realize you have these people who are like way higher level and way better than you are, that putting up to renown rank 100 is just going to widen that gap. I don't know.
Right.
I haven't played in a long time, but that was my major reason for quitting that game. It's just because you hit tier 4 and you're fucked.
Well, and I think that they kind of saw a hole that they were worried about, that they had the same problem in Dark Age of Camelot, in my opinion, with Tribes of Atlantis, with the artifact leveling. Mm-hmm. That people got so far ahead with master levels and artifacts and stuff like that that no one could ever catch up with them. Yep. And that you had this maybe one or two full groups of people that would decimate armies, of people, which ruined it for so many people that were subscribing to the game, and that's what kind of ruined it. So I think it's fair, personally. If it bothers you that much, you can spend the money to just accelerate through it faster.
Yeah, and that's a good point, John. I remember after the Travis Lance came out, and when some of our old guild, Circle of Trust, and other people would go into RVR, if they heard that certain like big names on our server on the other opposing sides were out, they'd all be like,
leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do something else. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch some paint dry instead because I don't want to. I don't want to just get raped by. It would be the kind of thing where you'd have like maybe one or two scouts take out your whole group, and it's like really, just because they have more time to play. They dedicate all.
Come
this
on, they were scouts. They were the weakest of the Rangers. Come on, shut up. Fuck you. Little fucking hippie in the Midgard ones. They had so much more abilities.
Hunters.
But whatever.
I'm just saying.
I played Outman. Can you tell? Yeah.
Well, the scouts just hit the hardest with the bow in general. They didn't have the flexible abilities. But
okay, we're getting a little off subject here.
Anyway,
I kind of see the progression pack thing. When I first heard yesterday that you have to buy the ability to buying the ability to get from 80 to 100, not a big deal, because that's kind of like any expansion, right? Any expansion that comes out and this game has not had a proper expansion yet, and this is still questionable if it's a proper expansion. It's just the 1.4 changes, which are huge to the game, and there's a lot of stuff changing with it, but any expansion that's come out in the past for any other game, you pay for this box, or you pay for the ability to do these other things in the game, which a lot of times increase a level cap in the game, and this is what this will be, is an increased level cap and more items and more stuff to do. Mythic doesn't have anything with all the changes that they're making to sell. And that's what I think this is going to be. This is their way of saying, okay, here is something that we can sell that is going, if you want it, you don't have to use it, but if you want it, here it is. And I think a lot of people are mad because of the accelerated renown rank leveling from 1 to 80. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of a weird pill to swallow, but I think what the thing that I kind of like came across in my mind the other day, and maybe I don't know, totally weird, maybe I'm being fanboyish because I am playing the game right now, but Warhammer Online has always been a really oddball MMO. It's always been totally different from the MMOs out there, and this is no different than any of their past trials and tribulations. That it's hard for them to do. Everything that they're putting into the game right now with 1.4 is free for anybody that's already paying, well, quote unquote free. It is going along with your subscription, so they have nothing to sell with all this work that's going involved. So it's weird, but that's what they have to do.
Well, I mean, I kind of, you just summed up why I have really no problem paying for this. They're doing a lot of development. They've said this is a RVR focused game. This is probably what they should have been focusing on all along, and they're introducing a lot of changes. And I have no real problem. I mean, they're reasonably priced, these booster packs. I don't have any real problem supporting that, and I could see why someone who's not totally in this game will have issue with it and they're going to rip on it. But I'm enjoying the game, and I'm supporting the changes, and I do like the acceleration to, like we talked about, I can catch up to some of the things. I don't really have a problem with it.
Right. And, well, we'll see how that actually goes through, if other people will have problems with it. And I think it's a situation where you speak with your wallet. If you have a problem with the having to pay for a fast track to 80, then you don't pay for it. So. And in a couple of last little bits, moving away from the war talk, since that'll take us like another half hour just yammering. real quick, there's a Firefall gameplay trailer released.
Yeah.
If you want to check it out, you can go to our website. Oh my God. And scroll down. It's on there somewhere. Yeah, you'll find it.
It's gorgeous. I
It
just
looks
gotta say it's
really
gorgeous.
damn good.
Yeah.
I'm still super excited about that game.
Yep.
And I think if Hi-Res has anything to worry about as far as competition, Firefall is going to be their competition for shooter MMO. So we'll see.
Maybe.
Well, I'm excited that there's going to. Well, I can't say shooter MMO because Red 5 Studios, the maker of Firefall, say it's not an MMO. So whatever. I think everybody that's playing the game will probably tell them otherwise, but
Well, did they ever call it, like, whenever it was out, PlanetSide? Did they say that it was an MMO?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. PlanetSide was a
Technically.
Sony Online MMO, so
Okay. I wasn't sure if they classified it as an MMO. That's
I'm
all.
almost positive they did. I mean, I played the beta and I played the game for a few months after it released, and I almost got. It's been a while, and I've got some great stories from that game. Like war stories, man. But anyways, and last little bit of news before we let you go. Fallout Online.
Yeah, I actually just heard about this the other day. I didn't even know it existed. But apparently it's in development. There are screenshots of it. There is a website, which I should have linked, sorry, which I'll give that to you guys. Fallout Online. It's apparently in development, and they're taking beta registration.
Huh.
So just what we were talking about earlier, Jason, about you having trouble with that quest because your faction thing was
Well,
screwed.
it's not made by Bethesda.
It's made under the watchful eye of Bethesda, but they're not making it.
Well, there's some legality issues, but
Right.
Yeah,
so
I
it's-
don't think you can even say that's under their watchful eye because I think
but
they're
it
suing
is.
them.
It is. No, I mean they're officially. They reached a licensing agreement with them.
Right.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Interplay
Right.
is developing it, but yeah,
Right.
it's been kind of rocky.
Right, yeah, the Interplay's doing it, and the guys who were on the original Fallout team are on Fallout Online's team.
Some of them.
Yeah, not everybody. There's like 2 of the main guys, and I think might be a
Yeah,
couple
there's
others.
quite a few more at Obsidian who developed
Yeah.
New Vegas, but yeah.
Right, exactly. So, but in any case,
Everybody's everywhere.
yeah. So,
People go
I don't know.
places and things happen.
I just thought it was. I just thought it was interesting to point out that this even exists because I didn't know that until like a couple days ago.
And in last bits of news, we're going to cut out most of what we were going to talk about because this podcast is already going pretty long. One thing that I wanted to say, though, and I don't care what any other motherfucker in this room, or not this room because they're not actually physically with me, but in their respective rooms on their headphones listening to me right now, Gran Turismo 5...
Is a miss.
Yeah, that comes
Shut
out
up.
what
Fuck
this week?
you.
that we're
No,
talking
the
about?
discs are being pressed. Discs are being pressed. So maybe before Christmas,
Oh.
maybe not, but soon. That's all. It's fucking soon. I don't stop. Don't say it's.
Yeah, that's so
People are
sad.
messing. People are messing with the doc right now and saying supposedly discs are being pressed, but no, it is. It's gonna come. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Oh, it'll happen just on
Oh,
shut up.
Forever time.
Shut up.
Breaking
Just
news
shut up.
coming across the wire.
Confirmed. Gran Turismo 6.
Passes promises right here.
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing is that they did actually the lead developer, whoever it was, he had mentioned that they were already starting on Gran Turismo 6. So,
Well, how long did
Jesus.
it take them to make 5?
a long time.
So they better get started right now on 6 because
Yeah.
dang.
Well, the joke that keeps getting passed around on at least on Giant Bomb, probably other podcasts as well, is that the entire Forza series has come out since Gran Turismo 4. All 3 of the Forza games have been out since Gran Turismo 4. So, would you guys stop dicking with the fucking dog?
Cars needed maintenance.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Well, gentlemen, no point in hanging around this dump any longer.
Wait! Where are you going? I was gonna make espresso.
Show's over, folks.
You can't go! All the plants are gonna die!
Take off, eh?
Thanks for listening to Multiplaying, the companion podcast at multiplaying.net. Questions, comments, feedback, errors, etc. can be sent to multiplaying@gmail.com. We invite you to write a review on iTunes and visit our website at www.multiplaying.net.
We've made a lot of friends, shared a lot of laughs. often at the expense of others.
I think some people are going to be upset.
Let me just close this conversation by saying you are one unique individual.
Thank you and good night.
It's coming, Slurm. It's coming.
Stop ruining my...
They're delaying 5 so they can put out
They're delaying
6.
Gran Turismo 5 so they can put out Gran Turismo 6 for the cars.
Yes.
Oh.
Hybrids.
Oh shit! I didn't check emails. Hey, don't forget you can email us. We didn't read any emails this week, even if there are some I didn't check. But emails.
We'll read even more next week.
Shut up. You can send emails to multiplaying@gmail.com, and we'll read them. We swear to God we will. Maybe. Oh, and iTunes reviews. Those are good. We love them.
Hey, wait, wasn't there an iTunes review?
Yeah, it was Car though.
Well, you can read it.
I'm not gonna read Cars. He's an insider.
He's not on the... Okay. Just change the names.
Change the names. His name is Rack. It's just... Would you guys stop? Jeez.
Nice pass.
Should have been Grand Nukem.
Grand Nukem forever.
Grand Nukem Turismo.
Duke Nukem Turismo.